This is not just an SUV. This is what happens when luxury completely ignores limits. Because today, we're looking at the Mercedes-Maybach GLS, a vehicle that doesn't just compete with luxury, it defines it. And before we even get inside, just take a moment and look at it. This thing doesn't scream for attention like a sports car. It doesn't need to. It just stands there, calm, confident, and incredibly expensive. That massive chrome grille with vertical slats instantly dominates the front. The Maybach badge sits there like a signature, subtle but powerful. And then there's the chrome. It's everywhere. Around the windows, on the bumpers, along the sides, even the smallest details are polished to perfection. Those massive multi-spoke wheels don't just look good, they tell you this SUV is built to glide, not to race. And the paint, especially in darker shades like black or deep blue, reflects light in a way that almost feels liquid. This is not design meant to impress everyone. This is design meant to impress the right people. Now let's open the door and step into a completely different world. Because the moment you enter this cabin, everything changes. The noise from outside disappears. The doors close with that soft, solid thud that instantly tells you, you're somewhere special. You're surrounded by Napa leather. Not just on the seats, but on the dashboard, the doors, the armrests, everywhere your eyes land, there's luxury. The stitching is precise. The materials are flawless. The wood trim is real, polished, and perfectly integrated with chrome accents that reflect just enough light to feel elegant, never too flashy. But this is just the beginning. Because the real magic of the Maybach GLS is not in the front seat. It's in the back. This car is built for people who don't drive, they arrive. The rear seats are more like first-class airline pods. Fully reclining, with extended leg rests, massage functions, heating, cooling, everything you could possibly want. You can literally stretch out, relax, and forget you're even in a car. And then there's the center console. Champagne glasses, a refrigerated compartment, controls for everything, from seat position to ambient lighting. Yes, you can sit back here, sip a cold drink, and just enjoy the ride. And speaking of enjoyment, let's talk about the atmosphere inside this cabin. At night, the ambient lighting transforms everything. Soft purple, blue, and gold tones flow across the interior, highlighting every curve and surface. It doesn't feel like a car anymore. It feels like a private lounge, moving through the city. And then there's the technology. Up front, you get the MBUX system. Two large, crystal clear displays that handle everything from navigation to media to vehicle settings. The graphics are sharp, smooth, and futuristic. But what makes it special is how easy it is to use. Everything feels intuitive, natural, effortless, and rear passengers aren't left out either. They get their own screens, their own controls, their own experience. Everyone inside this car lives in their own world of comfort. Now let's talk about something you might not expect from a car like this. Performance. Under the hood, you've got a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 engine producing over 550 horsepower. And yes, this thing is fast. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 4 to 5 seconds. In a car this size, that's honestly insane. But here's the thing, speed is not the point. This car is not built to thrill you with acceleration. It's built to isolate you from everything outside. And that's where the suspension comes in. Because this might be one of the smoothest rides you will ever experience. The air suspension system constantly adjusts to the road. Bumps, potholes, rough surfaces, they almost disappear. The car just glides. It feels like you're floating. And even when you take corners, the body stays incredibly stable. There's even a system that can slightly lean the car into turns, making everything feel more controlled, more refined. Driving this car doesn't feel mechanical. It feels effortless. Now let's talk about the driving experience itself. From behind the wheel, you feel powerful, but not in an aggressive way. The steering is smooth and light. The acceleration is strong, but always controlled. Everything about this car is tuned for comfort first. Even the sound of the engine is muted, refined, never loud or intrusive. Because in this car, silence is part of the luxury. And that silence is something you notice immediately. At highway speeds, inside the cabin, it's almost completely quiet. No wind noise. No road noise. Just calm. Now of course, no car is perfect. So let's talk about practicality. Yes, this is a large SUV. But because of all the luxury features, especially in the rear, cargo space is slightly reduced compared to a standard GLS. But let's be honest, if you're buying a Maybach, you're not worried about luggage space. Fuel economy. It's a V8. So yes, it drinks fuel. But again, that's not why this car exists. This car exists for one reason: to deliver the highest level of comfort possible on four wheels. Now let's talk about price. This SUV starts at well over $170,000, and with options, it can go much higher. Which puts it directly against some of the biggest names in luxury, like the Rolls-Royce Cullinan and the Bentley Bentayga, and that raises an important question. Where does the Maybach GLS fit? Because Rolls-Royce is all about ultimate prestige. Bentley is about performance and luxury combined. And Maybach, it sits right in the middle. It gives you cutting-edge technology, incredible comfort, and a level of luxury that feels modern, not traditional. It's less flashy than a Rolls-Royce, but more advanced. Less sporty than a Bentley, but more relaxing. And for many people, that balance is exactly what they want. This is a car for those who value experience over attention. For those who prefer to be inside the luxury, not showing it off. And that's what makes the Maybach GLS so special. It doesn't try too hard. It just delivers, effortlessly. And once you experience it, everything else starts to feel a little less special. Because this is not just a luxury SUV. This is a moving sanctuary. A place where the outside world fades away, and comfort takes over. And honestly, once you sit in the back seat of this car, you won't want to sit anywhere else again. This is the Mercedes-Maybach GLS. And this is what luxury feels like at the highest level.